represent the Seminoles, Culhane.
What a week it was last week for Luke Laux and his Florida State basketball team as the Noles were able to go and take care of business as Florida State with a Sunshine State sweep of the boys from the Bay Area. Did a fantastic job with wins over Cal, 63-61, and Stanford last Saturday, 88-80. Welcome in to Inside Seminole Basketball. We got a fun show tonight. The head coach, Luke Laux, he's out on the road recruiting, so we're going to get to know the staff, this team in depth even further here this evening on the program. A number of guests coming up a little bit later on. Chris Kent is on the show tonight, assistant coach, director of player development. Kyle Washington also on the show tonight. He's the director of video and scouting. Robert McCray V and Tomas Pasong are here later on, but our first guest up, he's been with us before. Great to have him back again. Assistant coach and general manager Michael Fly. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Coacher, great to have you with us. How are you, sir?
Appreciate you having me back. I'm running on a few hours sleep here with a newborn.
Yes.
I don't want to get in trouble here with Heather in the last 4 or 5 days. I'm not sure what day it is, but other than that, I'm great.
We are, by the way, let's give Coach congratulations and shout out here, newborn. We're going to talk about that. We're going to show a picture of you with your newborn daughter, Julianne B. Fly, born on January the 30th. Your wife, Heather, doing great. So congratulations, Coach.
Appreciate that.
That's fantastic stuff. What a time for you guys right now. What a time for this basketball team. You guys continue to get better and better each and every time you step out onto the floor. And you beat 2 teams last week in Cal and Stanford that are, according to bracketologists, NCAA tournament, caliber teams right outside that line. Where did you see this group take the biggest steps forward last week in those 2 wins over good squads?
Yeah, I think to be a good basketball team, you got to try to protect home court, right?
Yeah.
Like as a rule, you want to win your home games and then steal as many as you can on the road, right? But in this league, as we know, it's hard to win any game, right? So for us to be able to win back-to-back home games, especially where we were maybe even 3 weeks ago, I think it's a testament to the job Coach Laux is doing and our guys and their development. So was really proud of being able to win both of those, especially, some of them you started to think like, okay, and Rob and I have had this conversation like, all right, is this Wake Forest all over again?
Yeah.
And we've grown since then. Rob specifically, who's sitting here, and our team in general, we weren't able to close games like that even a few weeks ago, and now we're starting to show some signs of maturity. We just got to keep that going and continue to get better.
And even from Wednesday to Saturday of last week, where late in the game you kind of had a little bit of that feel where the free throws weren't dropping, but you still made plays. Lejay had a big offensive rebound. You got a great stop at the end of the game to hold off Cal. But then moving into Saturday against Stanford, you take that step forward. You corrected. You're 23 of 29 from the free throw line, and you build that big lead and you hold off the charge where, like you said, in 2 games prior, that was something that got a little tighter than maybe what you all wanted to in those contests.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think it starts in practice. I think our guys have started to buy into we've got to bring kind of a lunch pail mentality every day. I think also our identity is changing a little bit in a good way in terms of we recruited shooting, we recruited skill, and that's always going to be really important to the staff and to Coach Laux. But I think our guys are starting to understand that in order to play fast and play the style that we want to play, you have to defend.
Yeah.
You have to rebound. The best way to play fast is to not have to take the ball out of the net. So I think it's a credit to Coach Gillian, our defensive coordinator, to our staff, to Coach Laux, but also to our guys to start to understand, hey, if you play both sides of the ball, and this sounds elementary, but if you play harder than the other team for most of the night, you're always going to give yourself a chance to win.
Yep. Speaking to Coach Fly's point, defensively in the 3 ACC wins, Florida State has held those opponents to an average of 68 points in those contests. That's 11.6 points below the season average for scoring defense for this Florida State basketball team this year. Hey, time now for our truest hero of the game. We'll say hero of the week last week because he had himself a week, Noles fans. Chauncey Wiggins was fantastic, 20.5 points per game, 7 of 15 from 3 for 47%. A new career high, 23 points versus Stanford, and tied a career high with 4 threes made in that game in the win over the Cardinal. Wow, what a performance. He was doing it inside, he was doing it from outside, but I thought it was great, the combination of both in that Stanford game, Coach, where he took the ball down low and made a bunch of plays for you.
Absolutely, and we're really proud of Chauncey's development. You know, he's had some really great moments this season. He's also had some moments where he struggled, and you know, we've challenged Chauncey, not just as a coaching staff, but his teammates as well, that, you know, when you look at him probably in an unfair way, he's 6'10", he's long, he's athletic, he can shoot the ball. So the expectation for Chauncey is very high based on his God-given abilities, right? And sometimes probably unfairly high. But to Chauncey's credit, he started to mix his game up a little bit where he's still shooting the catch-and-shoot threes, but now he's imposing some physicality in terms of going down low and scoring. I think he's committed defensively. If you watch, even though he's 6'10", he can switch and keep guards in front of him. Yeah. But, again, I think it's just the mentality of where our guys are right now in terms of committing to getting those stops and to that defensive pressure and to that rebounding and more toughness and more tenacity. So we're proud of Chauncey and want to see continued development and growth with him.
Coach, that addition to his offensive game by going into the low post area and bouncing it and making some moves, something we didn't see a whole lot early on in the season. Where did that start to develop a little bit? When did that kind of click for him, did you feel like? Because we're seeing more and more of it here in ACC play.
Well, I think anytime you take over a program, and this is obviously year one for us as a staff and for Coach Laux, you want to teach what your theories and philosophies are, right? And our theories and philosophy are that the best shot in basketball is a layup. The next best shot's a free throw because those are the highest percentage. The next best shot's a catch-and-shoot three, right? In the NBA, when you say, hey, guys, we want to shoot layups, free throws, and threes, those guys say, okay, yeah, but they're still going to go do what they do in the mid-range and go into the post. I think with college guys, sometimes they want to do what you want them to do, right? So they want to do what their coaches are asking them to do. Yeah. And sometimes they take things so literally. I think Chauncey would tell you he was probably in his own head a little bit about, okay, let me catch and shoot threes. I got to get this many threes up per night. And if it's not a layup. So Chauncey and I have had a couple of conversations. I know the rest of the staff is too, that yes, we want to take high quality shots, but I joked with Chauncey. I said, Chauncey, if you go 5 for 6 from the mid-range or from 2, Coach Laux is going to be happy, believe me. So I think it's just Chauncey getting back to just playing basketball and not thinking about what type of shot is this and am I doing everything perfect. He's just going and making plays and playing with his God-given ability and instincts.
Yeah, he was outstanding all last week, and now he scored in double figures 15 times this season. That's the most in a season for Wiggins in his entire collegiate career. So Chauncey Wiggins is our truest hero of the game, in a lot of ways our truest hero of the week. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. And we are live from Glory Days here in Tallahassee, our host location of Inside Seminole Basketball. Stop by Wednesdays during the month of February from 7 to 8. Hang with us as we talk Florida State hoops, grab an all-star selection of food, drinks, and hear from our players and our staff. Just getting started here on Wednesday night with GM and assistant coach Michael Fly on a fun night for the show here this evening. More to come live from Glory Days. Stay with us. We are back after this timeout.
It didn't start here.
But everything it stood for still does.
Some things change.
And some things never change.
Tradition, dedication to excellence, a program built on grit.
And driven by growth.
From the tunnel to the turf, every step forward tells a story.
Just like ours.
Where growth, determination, and a dedication to excellence meet.
Scott and Wallace.
Hey, your voice is amazing. Let him hear it.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more.
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me, what will I find?
You're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same as
your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. This is Inside Seminole Basketball.
All right, great to be back on a Wednesday night, live from Glory Days here in Tallahassee. Great fans here tonight. Appreciate everybody stopping out once again and joining us for another edition of Inside Seminole Basketball. As the Noles, it was a Seminole sweep of the Bay Area boys last weekend. Cal and Stanford in town, and Florida State took care of business. Noles getting ready with a bye, if you will, in the midweek. They will take on Notre Dame this weekend in South Bend. That's a 4 p.m. Eastern tip at Purcell Pavilion. We also wanted to make a mention today, as we talk to you, is National Girls and Women in Sports Day as well. And so I wanted to give a shout out to all of our female student athletes, coaches, staff members, everybody that are out there, anyone that's involved in sports. We appreciate those women very, very much. And also wanted to let you know that Sunday, Florida State, the Florida State women, it's their Paint It Paint game presented by TMH as they will take on Miami Sunday at 2 p.m. Come on out to the Tucker Center. Support the Noles, Brooke Wyckoff and company. The Florida State women are Paint It Paint game. You got the many hoop dunk contest at halftime as well, and so we'll have some fun with that. So a happy National Girls and Women in Sports Day today to all of those great women out there. All right, Coach, as we talked about, Stanford, Cal, able to grow, able to continue to elevate who we are as a basketball team with some wins in ACC play. Take me back to that Cal game for a little bit, if you will, last Wednesday, and how our guys fought, scratched. That's a Cal team that went to Miami and won on Saturday and pulled out a big win. And the guy sitting right here, Robert McCray, doing a phenomenal job. That's a guy you've been with during your guys' time at Jacksonville. He's been an outstanding talent and continues to grow for us each and every game out.
Yeah, well, we talked about in preparation with Cal. Obviously, they had beaten Carolina pretty handily. To your point, they're on the bubble, depending on what bracketology deal that you look at. And I think with Rob specifically, he's done a terrific job of being a point guard this year and getting people shots. But in the last, I'd say 3 to 4 to 5 games, he's really starting to put pressure on the rim to get to that painted area, and basically he's going to score until somebody stops him.
Yeah.
I think him being that aggressive and touching the paint, I think early on there were times where because the assist numbers were so big, he was probably overpassing at times and looking for, let me get this assist, let me get that one. So him specifically being aggressive early, getting tons of paint touches, Now he's falling into assist because he's thinking score, put pressure on the rim, get to the free throw line, and now the plays are a little easier to make. But yeah, I thought that was a big one for us because again, you're coming off not too much few weeks before that beating a really good Miami team.
Yeah.
Then that's the first good home win, that we've had. And so really good team, chance to make the NCAA tournament. The hope was, all right, we got the first one. Now you got to get ready for Stanford. But, yeah, I thought that was what I would call a character game for us over Cal.
Yep. We'll talk to Rob coming up a little bit later on in the show tonight. Looking forward to that. How impressed have you been, Coach, with Rob's evolution as a point guard? He's got 141 assists on the season. That's second most in the entire Atlantic Coast Conference. If he stays on that this track that he's on, he's going to potentially be a 200 assist guy, which has not been done a whole lot. He'd be the fourth player in Florida State basketball history to accomplish that feat.
Yeah, I think it's a credit to our staff and to Rob. And by that I mean Coach Laux believing in him at that position, putting the ball in his hands, designing an offense where whoever's got the ball the most in terms of usage has a chance to see the floor, to see spacing. Rob and I were together at Jacksonville the last 2 years, different system, different offense, different spacing. So part of that I think is credit to Luke, credit to Coach Kent, the development staff. A lot of it, though, is credit to Rob in terms of digging into film, in terms of growing as a player. For 2 years at Jacksonville, he was one of the best scorers in the league. Yeah. He could take over a game, especially at that level at any point, like he showed in the ACC as well. But his development now to be a scorer and a guy that can make plays for other people, I think the sky's the limit in terms of what he can get to if he continues to grow at the pace that he's growing.
Yeah, looking forward to it. He's been phenomenal, and can't wait to see what he does here in the month of February in the second half of conference play. Well, we mentioned it early. You and your family have had a great addition as you and your wife, Heather, have welcomed a newborn daughter into the family, and that just happened recently on January the 30th. I believe we have a photo of you with your newborn daughter. There you go. There's Coach Fly. Julian B. Fly, going to call her Jules. Is that right?
That's right.
Yep. Over
Jules.
or under on how many hours of sleep right now at the Fly household?
It is not a large amount, I'll tell you that much. I told the staff when I went into practice yesterday, I said, hey, guys, I'm always on edge, but if I'm a little more on edge, and the players will probably say this as well, I'm running on very few hours of sleep right now. But obviously we're super blessed, super thankful. It's fun to now be a party of five in the Fly household.
There you go. You can set up a 2-3 zone. That's
No
right.
doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
there you go. Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, it's a lot of fun having you here. Thanks so much for stopping by with us once again. We look forward to getting after Notre Dame on Saturday. Appreciate the time.
I appreciate it, Jeff. Go
There
Noles.
you go. That's Michael Fly, our GM and assistant coach. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us here tonight on Inside Seminole Basketball. It's our program brought to you in part by Carver's Discount Cleaners. They are mean on stains and green on earth. Try new Eco Green dry cleaning at Carver's Discount Cleaners at 1242 North Monroe Street in Midtown. And also by our friends at Seminole Boosters. Did you know that FSU Athletics is self-supported, is not funded by tax dollars? We rely on fans to join Seminole Boosters so your teams have the best chance to succeed on and off the court. Membership starts at $5 per month. It comes with great benefits. Go online to SeminoleBoosters.com to learn more. Big thanks to Michael Fly. Coming up, we got a fun show. Chris Kent is up next here, assistant coach and director of player development. Coach Kent joins us on the other side. We are back after this timeout.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
It didn't start here.
But everything it stood for still does.
Some things change.
And some things never change.
Tradition, dedication to excellence, a program built on grit.
And driven by growth.
From the tunnel to the turf, every step forward tells a story.
Just like ours.
Where growth, determination, and a dedication to excellence meet.
Scott and Watt.
Hey, your voice is amazing.
Let him hear it.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more,
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find.
you're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
The Inside Seminole basketball back at Glory Days Grill here in Tallahassee. Jeff Culhane here with you. Coach Laux, he's out recruiting tonight, and so we got a great show as we get a vibe from the staff, get to know our guys that are working hard, staff and players, and fire up to have our next guest on the program, assistant coach and director of player development, Chris Kent. Everyone, please give him a round of applause. Coacher, it's great to have you here. And just like I talked with Coach Fly about, congratulations on a couple of wins last week at home. Yep. Those are two teams that came in, I think, to the state of Florida feeling pretty good about themselves. And, I mean, you had to be fired up about how your guys responded and got after them over two games.
Absolutely. It's a credit to our guys, right? Like, we went through a stretch 2 different times during the season where things weren't going our way, but we came in and we continue to work how we know we're supposed to work. And we understand that in the ACC there are no easy games, and our practices have reflected how bad we want to win, and the work the guys put in has been incredible from start to finish, and now we're seeing the results that we want to see.
There you go. Let's talk about your journey in getting back here to Florida State, and you've been a guy that was here, obviously. You're on Leonard Hamilton's staff back from 2015 to 2017 as a graduate assistant. You've got collegiate experience. You've got NBA experience during your time in Chicago. Worked with Jim Moran in Portland as well. Kind of take us through your path, Coach, getting back here to Tallahassee.
Yeah, so it's been a blessing to be back here, a program that I really care about, and obviously a school that I love. So, you know, I started in 2013, and it sounds like forever ago, as a volunteer assistant, just a young coach trying to get in and doing whatever it takes to stick around. And from there, I was a graduate assistant for Coach Hamilton from 2015 to 2017. An unbelievable experience. We made the NIT the first year and then made the tournament the second year. That was right before the program really took off. So that was a great experience. And then from there, I went to the University of South Florida for 1 season down there in Tampa. Did that for 1 year, and then I went to the NBA for 5 seasons with the Chicago Bulls. So I came up through the video room, just a young coach, grinding away, hours on end, and it was one of the coolest things that I've got to do so far in my life. And then from there, I went to the Portland Trail Blazers. I was there for 2 seasons, and actually Jim Moran was the head coach that first season out there in Portland, so that's where we work together, and it's a pleasure to be back here, and it's a special place. So my wife is here tonight. She actually did her undergrad here at Florida State, so for us to be back on this campus and with this staff really means a lot.
That's pretty special. And you've got obviously a great mix here on the staff of collegiate and also plenty of NBA experience as well. Coach, how would you describe to people here and watching and listening the NBA to collegiate sort of experience from a coach's perspective, similarities, differences, and how both those places have prepared you for where you're at today?
Yeah, so there are a lot more extra things going on in college, right? The guys have to go to school. You have to work around their class schedule to plan practice. And in the NBA, it's just, you practice the same time every day, and you get on the flight and you go to the game, and after they leave practice, you don't really worry about what they do. Like, they're grown-ups, whereas here, you kind of keep an eye on them a little more. But Coach has done a great job with getting guys that we really don't have to worry about anything off the court. It's a high-character group of people. It's been great. And I honestly, things are pros and cons to both. I enjoy this so much because Coach Laux has put together an unbelievable staff, an unbelievable group of players. The character in our building is just unbelievable. You've been around our program. You felt the vibe around our team and our staff. So it's been a pleasure to be back here.
Yep, and it's been a great vibe. There's no question about that. Here with Florida State assistant coach and director of player development, Chris Kent. As our program brought to you in part by Wolfson Children's Hospital. Odds are beaten here at Wolfson Children's. Always here, official children's hospital of Florida State Athletics. And want to get Coach's thoughts, our Scott and Wallace keys to success as we get ready for Notre Dame. And really just during this time frame, Coach, having a week off. It's only the second time in ACC play. We don't have that midweek game. Kind of walk me through the week and how you balance the time of rest but also staying sharp, getting ready for a road game in ACC play.
Yeah, that's a great question, and a lot of thought goes into that. So we got after it pretty hard Monday and Tuesday. And, again, Coach Fly kind of touched on it, and our practices have been ramped up because we understand what it takes. Every night in the ACC you're playing a great opponent, so we have to get after it every day. And then today the guys had an off day, middle of the week, rest, recover, take care of your academics. And then tomorrow we're all back. Coach Laux is back. And the Notre Dame prep starts. So we're hitting it hard Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, looking forward to that one for sure. Keys to Success brought to you by Scott & Wallace, the official injury lawyers of Florida State Athletics. Scott & Wallace with offices in Tallahassee. Coming up on Inside Seminole Basketball, we'll talk more with Coach about player development and some of the things he's noticed, specifically from some of our young guys. That and more on the way when we return. Live from Glory Days in Tallahassee. We are back after this timeout.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
It didn't start here.
But everything it stood for still does.
Some things change.
And some things never change.
Tradition, dedication to excellence, a program built on grit.
And driven by growth.
From the tunnel to the turf, every step forward tells a story.
Just like ours.
Where growth, determination, and a dedication to excellence meet.
Scott and Wallace.
All right, we are back here on Wednesday night, live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. As Chris Kent with us here, assistant coach, director of player development. Coming up, Kyle Washington will join us in our next segment. And a little bit later on, Florida State standouts for the Noles, Robert McRae V and Tomas Basson will be here on the program. Coach, director of player development, that is something that is I say daily. It's probably a minute-by-minute, hour-by-hour thing that's on your mind in continuing to grow our guys physically, mentally, across the board. Tell people what that means overall. Give people insight into what you're doing every day and what you're thinking about and getting our guys moving in that right direction.
Yeah, constantly thinking about the guys, as every coach does. But Coach Laux has done a great job with, obviously my title says that, but I have a lot of help, and it's all hands on deck. And again, you've been around our staff, and you know that's how we operate. So, yeah, our main job obviously is to be there for the guys as people. Obviously, it's very important, and obviously get them better on the court. So, how we play reflects how we work out. We want the workouts to be game-like, put them through situations that happen often in the game, and no player's plan is exactly the same, right? Like Rob does a little different things than Thomas in the game, so we have to work out like that. And it's been great to work with these guys. They are constantly in the gym. It's so much fun and refreshing to be around a group that works this hard.
I wanted to bring it up with you, Coach. We'll talk to Tomas coming up a little bit later on, but here's a young player that has amazing experience internationally, playing the game at a high level, comes to Florida State, and you're a freshman, right? But he has grown now into a starter in the ACC, and you can see his confidence growing each and every time he touches the basketball. Talk about his work and how proud you are of him as he continues to develop and grow.
Yeah, proud is the first thing that I think of. Like, this kid is in the gym constantly. I actually had to talk to him yesterday about being a little smarter in what we do when we're in the gym, because you can't keep him out of the gym, and that's just a credit to how much he wants to improve. And he came in, like you said, early on, and everyone goes through it as a freshman. You have to get their feet underneath you and adjust to the speed of the game. And now you see the kid; he's a starter, and his impact on the game is just phenomenal. Like, forget about the points; his defense is amazing. So we're excited about his growth and what he's going to continue to grow into.
And I would imagine with so many newcomers on this team, even if you're a senior, there's a lot of things working that you and the staff work on. Hey, just getting everybody on the same page with the language, the culture, and you can see that as we talk about the vibe of the team, how we're going in that right direction later on in the season with how you guys have worked together so closely.
Absolutely. Getting everyone to mesh, and you kind of touched on it, like learning these guys, right? Like you talked about it with Coach Fly, Chauncey's evolution throughout the season. Like, he's evolved, and now he posts up a little bit more. And early on, we didn't really know that he could do that much of that. So it's like, you know what? Like, we're learning them, they're learning us, and it's been good for everybody.
Yep. Well, Coach, I tell you what, it's been a lot of fun watching you work, watching these guys work, and looking forward to seeing what we have here the next 9 games in ACC play. Thanks for stopping by.
Of course.
That's Chris Kent, everybody, Director of Player Development, Assistant Coach here on this Florida State staff. And our program brought to you in part by Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. Coming up next, we get to know Kyle Washington, our Director of Video and Scouting, and one heck of a college basketball player himself. We'll talk with Coach Wash and more on the other side when we come back. Stay with us. We are back after this timeout.
Hey, your voice is amazing.
Let him hear it.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more,
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find.
you're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same is true for
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
From Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee, this is Inside Seminole Basketball.
And we are back on Wednesday night. Welcome back in, Knowles fans. Inside Seminole Basketball, live from Glory Days Grill here in Tallahassee. We've had a fun show. Great guests on the program. Getting to know our staff and also getting to know our players a little bit later on. Big thanks to Michael Fly and Chris Kent. Coming up, Robert McRae V and Tomas Basson. But please give a big round of applause for Kyle Washington, everyone. Kind enough to give us some time. You too, Kyle. And he's doing an amazing job. Our director of video and scouting. And a guy, one heck of a player yourself. You love the game, the passion for the game. As we talk about your journey, you started your collegiate playing career at NC State, and then you were on some great Cincinnati teams under Mick Cronin. School record, 31 wins your senior year, a team captain in 2017 and 2018. Let's just start there. The game of basketball and how much it's meant to you in your life, and how you've been able to show that excitement, that love to others right now during your career.
I mean, I'm a basketball lifer. I've been fortunate enough to be surrounded around great players, great coaches. So I've just been in basketball my whole life. I started as a young kid, and it's just when you're around the sport, it's contagious. So just speaking on my ACC days, playing at NC State, I played with really good dudes there. Cody Martin, Caleb Martin. Yeah. Played with them my sophomore year, but my freshman year, played with TJ Warren, ACC Player of the Year. We went to 2 tournaments that year. My sophomore year, we played Louisville in the Sweet 16. So some playing experience in the ACC. Then I took my career to Cincinnati. And Mick Cronin, I was actually texting with him today. He laid the foundation for me in terms of coaching.
Amazing.
His preparation to win and his intensity to win is just unreal. You might see him take some crazy takes on social media.
There might be a few, yes.
But his preparation to win is unbelievable. And you kind of got to be in the gym to be around it. But bringing it back to Coach Laux, like in terms of his preparation to win and his competitiveness, you can tell. You can tell when dudes are just built like that. And he's a guy that I would put in that category where you're going to look a few years from now and he's going to have 500 so wins under the age of 50.
Yeah.
You know, so like he's going to be doing it at a high level, and I'm just so fortunate to be around him.
Yep.
But talking about my playing days, playing for Cincinnati, we go 61-11 in 2 years. Being with those type of players, you just understand like what a winning culture is, and I've been trying to just personify that in any way I can and just be an example for the guys in terms of preparation in the games, preparation and practice. And going off of what CK and Coach Fly said, these guys have grown so much in such a short time span. If you even look from the Wake Forest game to Stanford, like Rob's leadership, T. Basong learning on the fly, like I'm super proud of these guys because they've taken the shortfalls that we've had in certain games, and they said we're going to learn from this and we're going to help galvanize our group, and then we've been doing such a good job of it.
Yeah, you mentioned Coach Laux, and we were talking during the break how obviously you've been around great coaches. You're a part of this staff now, and you're working with guys that have been in the NBA collegiately. And one of the things he said to me was, look, you can be a great basketball coach, but what kind of takes you over the edge is your ability as a person to connect with everybody. Kind of speak to that a little bit more about how this staff does a great job of that and how Coach Laux has taken that to another level for you.
Well, I think a big part of leadership is understanding who you are and being confident in who you are. And I think if that was a definition of a person and a coach, I think that Luke Laux personifies that. In terms of his leadership, his generosity, his confidence in who he is as a person, he facilitates to so many people, okay, I want you to take on this leadership role. If you're talking about Coach Fly, he's taking on the GM role, or CK in terms of his coaching, his scouting, his player development. Like, Coach knows exactly who he is as a person and what he wants his program to look like. So he's like, I want you guys to kind of see out my vision. And he's letting you do that while you're being autonomous and while you're leading yourself, and leading other people. So Coach is unbelievable in terms of that, and his basketball knowledge, just being his ilk in terms of being playing at such a high level at Florida State, but then coaching in the NBA ranks, bringing that style of play down and teaching the guys, teaching his staff every day what he sees and how he sees the floor. Like, it's beautiful, and I'm just fortunate to be a part of it.
There you go. Talking with Kyle Washington, our Director of Video and Scouting here with Florida State Basketball. Time now for our FRLA opponent segment, opponent preview as Notre Dame comes to town. Won't specifically get into the Irish, but I want to ask you the art of creating a scouting report for this staff and coaches and getting clips. I mean, that is such an intensive process for each game. Kind of let everybody know the work that goes in to preparing everybody and getting ready for an opponent.
Oh, a scout is a monster. A scout is a monster. But I think we have a really good staff and a really versatile staff, because if you review our staff, a lot of our guys have started in the video room. Coach Fly has started in the video room. CK has started in the video room. Jim Moran started. Luke Laux. All these guys are ex-video guys. So when they came to me and they said, hey, this is your responsibility, we want you to dominate the video room, I took that as a personal challenge, because these guys have dominated it themselves, and I said, I just want to be able to be in that conversation and say, all right, you're doing a really good job of it.
Yeah.
And Coach has kind of championed me, and he saw that I was a little hungry to dominate the video room, but also helping scouting myself. So he kind of threw me in the fire with scouting, and I'm really appreciative of that. But talking about a scout, it's a monster, because first you got to review the personnel. You got to know what everybody does, their personnel tendencies, what are they going to do under 10 in the shot clock, their plays, their probably top 5 plays, and then just, how we play as a team. What is this guy going to do when he catches on the right wing? How is he going to play? So a credit to our guys, like they've taken pride in it and saying, hey, we're going to know exactly what these guys do, and that's why you've seen these wins the past couple games.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the art of getting ready, a scouting report, and getting ready for Notre Dame. Our FRLA opponent preview, as FRLA proud to support FSU athletics, bringing unmatched rivalry and heart-pumping competition to the Big Bend region. Sporting events boost the local economy, filling hotel rooms, restaurant tables, and creating unforgettable experiences for residents and visitors alike. To learn more about Florida's hospitality industry and the events we support, visit frla.org. Coach Wash, I'm a big fan. Looking forward to getting with you guys again here for Notre Dame this weekend. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Appreciate that.
That's Kyle Washington, everyone, our Director of Video and Scouting for Florida State Basketball. Coming up, Robert McCray V joins us here at our main table. He's on the way. Stay with us. We are back after this timeout.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
It didn't start here.
But everything it stood for still does.
Some things change.
And some things never change.
Tradition, dedication to excellence, a program built on grit.
And driven by growth.
From the tunnel to the turf, Every step forward tells a story.
Just like ours.
Where growth, determination, and a dedication to excellence meet.
Scott and Wallace.
More inside Seminole basketball. Here is Jeff Culhane.
All right, rolling along. We are back here at Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Big thanks to Kyle Washington stopping by the program in our previous segment. Now, get to talk to guys that are getting it done on the floor, coming off a great week versus Stanford and Cal, and he's been great all season long. Please, a big round of applause for Robert McCray V, everyone. How we doing, sir?
I'm good.
You doing all right?
Good.
Well, I tell you what, it's been fun watching you guys play, and the way you guys continue to improve and get better. Kind of take me through the vibe around this team right now, because you guys are moving in the month of February, and Rob, you're playing some great basketball right now. What are you feeling?
I would say these past 3 games, everybody just gaining confidence,
Yeah.
Everybody feeling that winning, spirit. So that's been us, and
Yeah.
we're rolling with it.
What about you? You're a guy that has had so much success during your collegiate career, and I know that you've been thrust into this point guard role. You've taken it head on. You're one of the best assist guys in the ACC and in all of college basketball. How has that role continued to develop for you and continue to evolve? Because you certainly are confident out there with what you do.
I'm just being me. I've been a point guard my whole life, so it's second nature, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just my last school I was more of a scorer.
Sure.
But this year, I took on the point guard role.
Yeah. How has being a senior on this team with so many new guys, obviously 11 newcomers, and you're a guy I know a lot of people look to from a leadership, a direction standpoint overall. How would you describe yourself as a leader and some of the things that you take on in trying to get everybody on the same page of what you want to do overall?
Well, I think everybody already know, I'm not a pretty vocal guy.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
I've been getting better with that. The coach has been pushing me, with doing that. My teammates also pushing me like, Rob, we need to hear more from you. So, I've been getting better at doing that,
Yep. Well, you're doing a fantastic job. And I don't know, when the ball is in your hands, Rob, your ability to get into the lane and then just explode to the rim. I mean, what's going through your mind when guys are trying to check you and then you get in the paint? By the way, Rob, state champion high jumper in the state of South Carolina as well. So when you see him go up and throw down those dunks, there you go, right there. But your ability to get in the lane, kind of take me through your mindset offensively when you're in there and some of the things you're trying to do.
I'm just really taking what the defense gives me.
Yeah.
If you pressure me up hard, I'm going to just go past you, So
yeah.
Just taking what the defense gives me, that's how I play my game. So.
Yep. We're going to hear from Tomas coming up a little bit later on, a young guy. How proud are you of him as a freshman for what he's doing now, a guy in the starting lineup, and really he's taking his game to another level here late in the year.
I'm very proud of my guy Thomas. Man, he wasn't playing as much at first, but now he's been a big part of those 3 wins. Just his defensive intensity.
Yeah.
And that just really get us going.
Yeah. You come from a big family, right?
Yeah.
One of 9 siblings, 9 kids overall.
Yeah.
And you're in the middle, right? A middle child in the middle of that, and your dad, a high school basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of talk about being a part of a big family and having a dad as a coach as well.
Well, being a part of a big family, it's super fun. I'm the only child on my mom's side.
Yep.
So I would just always go to my dad's house a lot because I'll be alone at my mom's house.
Sure.
But Yeah, just having that big family, knowing that they watching me, that keep me going.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, without a doubt. Great support group in a big-time way. All right, as we get ready, we are heading into the second half of conference play. 9 more games to go in the regular season. It starts with Notre Dame on Saturday afternoon. Kind of talk to us about your mindset and what you're most looking forward to with this next opportunity up in South Bend on Saturday.
My mindset is just winning. I feel like we're getting it going.
Yeah.
We got 9 more games left. People look at our record and, don't know how good we are.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, my mindset is just winning and, just trying to win these next 9 games.
There we go. Let's do it. We can't wait for your next big highlight reel play. It's going to be a lot of fun, and keep doing what you're doing. It's a pleasure talking to you as always.
Thank you.
That's Robert McCray V, everyone. Doing a great job. 141 assists, second most in the Atlantic Coast Conference right now this season. That was our student athlete, one of our 2 student athlete segments presented by Seminole Boosters. Coming up, Tomas Passong will stop by the program, the freshman forward out of Paris, France. Looking forward. Tomas with us on the other side. We are back after this timeout.
Hey, your voice is amazing.
Let him hear it.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more,
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find.
you're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Seminole Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
This is Inside Seminole Basketball.
And we are back one final time and looking forward to our next conversation. Tomas Passong has been an impressive young player in Luke Laux' program, a young man out of Paris, France. And we're going to talk with Tomas about his journey to Florida State coming up here momentarily, as our program brought to you in part by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. Here to remind you that if alcohol is in the mix, driving isn't. Plan ahead. Designate a driver. Grab a ride share or stay put. Winning starts with smart choices. Drive sober, arrive alive. Go Noles. And we'd also like to thank Grassroots Coffee for their support of Florida State basketball. Order 6-man blend, the coffee that supports FSU hoops, at grassrootscoffee.com. Grassroots Coffee, made for everyone, loved everywhere. Scan that QR code as well if you're interested. And we've got a package of our 6-man blend here with us on the main table. So make sure to grab that. It supports Florida State basketball. Tomas Passong is with us. How are you, sir? How you doing?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for your time here this evening. Let's just start with your journey to Florida State University. Tell people where you're from, where you've been, and how you got to FSU, Tomas.
Okay, so my name is Thomas Passong, and I'm from France. I was born and raised in Paris.
Yeah.
and I think it's my third year out of France. I was in Zalgiris, Kaunas. It's in Lithuania, near Russia. I played 1 year there before coming in the States. Play in high school in New York. Play at the overtime elite.
Yeah.
Then I choose to commit there. I commit here at Florida State.
Yep.
Now I'm playing here.
Yeah, you are. So how many years in New York City were you there for?
I spent only 1 season. Like
1 season.
It would be like 8 months.
8 months or so. That was overtime elite. Yeah. What we hear a lot about that league and that group in preparing players like yourself for playing Division I college basketball. What was that experience at overtime elite like for you getting ready?
I feel like it really helped me, like getting acclimated to the American basketball. Even though it's definitely not the same thing that in D1. Like here, everything is like everybody's more athletic. Everything go way faster, and I gotta be better every time I step on the court.
Yep, I see you working your tail off in the gym all the time, whether it's before a shoot-around of practice, after a shoot-around or a practice. Just kind of let people know your hunger to get better and improve at the game of basketball. How would you describe your love for that in practicing and getting better?
I mean, I just feel like every time I'm on the court, I try to live with no regret. Like, at least I give my whole. And because I remember 1 season I didn't play that great, and I regret from this season. And since then, I was like, yeah, you need to give it all, like all you got, because you got only one life, and that's only one game. And when a game after a game, you gotta play hard and be good.
We've seen your confidence grow every single time you step out there on the floor, and you've been a part of the starting lineup now for the last 6 games. And I don't think you're going anywhere as far as that lineup goes anytime soon, Tomas. You've done a great job. Just speak to that about, hey, getting that opportunity to start and essentially taking that opportunity and running with it the way you have and helping this team win games this time of the year.
I feel like everybody talk about like how I help the team, but we got more talk about like how the team helping me. Like I feel like that's the best coaching staff I've been around. Yeah. And I've been in a lot of teams, so I know what I'm talking about. And especially the team, there is no guy that I don't like in the team. Like the team is very healthy. We just obviously we're gonna win more games. Yeah. We need to win more games because we have the capacity to win more games. But the fact that every coach is texting me every day, like trying to know how I feel and trying to know like if I'm doing great or no, is really helping me. And then they put me in confidence. Then they put me in the game. They make me start and answer the right way. So I'm very happy about that.
Well, it's been a whole lot of fun watching you go out and play hard, play the way you do, get better every single game. We can't wait to watch you again on Saturday, Tomas. Keep doing your thing. That's Tomas Passong, the young freshman from Paris, France, doing a phenomenal job for the Noles here this season. That's going to do it for us. Big thanks to Tomas, Robert McRae V, Kyle Washington, Chris Kent, and also Michael Fly. Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you Saturday in South Bend. Have a great day, everybody, and as always, go Noles.